Adrian Lim was a notorious criminal in Singapore during the 1980s. He and his accomplices, Tan Mui Chu and Ho Kah Hong, were responsible for one of the most heinous crimes in the history of the country. The case, which became known as the Toa Payoh ritual murders, shocked the nation and left a lasting impact on Singaporean society. Adrian Lim was born in Singapore in 1942 with his family when he was a child. Tan Mui Chu was a self-proclaimed medium and claimed to have supernatural powers. She convinced Adrian Lim to start a cult, and they began to recruit followers. The cult was centered around Tan Mui Chu, and she claimed to have the ability to communicate with the spirits of the dead. In January 1981, Adrian Lim and Tan Mui Chu convinced two young children, Agnes Ng and Ghazali Muhammad Yusuf, to come to their apartment. Once the children were in their grasp, Adrian Lim, Tan Mui Chu, and Ho Kah Hong subjected them to horrific torture and ritualistic abuse. The children were eventually murdered and their bodies were dismembered and disposed of. The murders were discovered when a family member of one of the victims reported them missing. The police launched an investigation and eventually arrested Adrian Lim, Tan Mui Chu, and Ho Kah Hong. They were tried and found guilty of murder, and all three were sentenced to death. The Toa Payoh ritual murders sent shockwaves through Singaporean society. The case highlighted the dangers of cults and the influence that charismatic leaders can have on vulnerable individuals. It also sparked a debate about the death penalty, which is still in place in Singapore today. The case also had a lasting impact on the families of the victims and the wider community. Today, the Toa Payoh ritual murders are still remembered as one of the most heinous crimes in the history of Singapore.